Okay, so this is a brief tutorial covering the operating of the camera in SketchUp as well as producing animations out of SketchUp. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at in this is we need to make sure we have our toolbars up. So we go to View, Toolbars. You're going to need the Advanced Camera Tools and the Camera Tools both up. And you can see the Advanced right here and my Camera Tools as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a camera. We'll call that Camera 1, that's fine. And then what we'll do is that immediately goes in here so we can start to edit and rotate this. So I'm going to turn this into a perspective view so we can actually start to see how this is going to work. And now we're in the space. So now we're going to go in and using some of my tools here, I'm going to go ahead and look around. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to look around using the look around tool. Okay, so I can orient myself. And now I need to, you'll note that this feels really claustrophobic. I'm right up on here. I can't really get a sense of the space. So we can go ahead and start to update the depth of field. And to do that, we go under the camera toolbar, we have the field of view. We can click this, and then by clicking this, we can start to expand or contract our view into the space. So we can really get in here and start to distort this. And really, that is going to enable us to start to see and look around in here as we go through this and start to render out. We want to change perspectives and want something to really feel spacious. That's how you're going to start to manipulate that. Okay, turn on the shadows and all that. Just going briefly over the daylighting. If you turn, you can toggle those on and off using the shadows toolbar. You can come in here. You can see my camera floating right there, and then you can change the time of day as well. You can also animate those things. So once you set that, if we wanted to animate the time of day flowing through here, we could create a scene at one point in the time of day, create a new scene, and then update that, okay, as well. So when we want to go and take this to animation, the way animation works is that each one of these scenes corresponds to a particular view. I'm going to go ahead and if I select this camera, and go ahead and just hide it. And you're going to want to update that in each one of these views, unfortunately, because otherwise you'll see that it doesn't stick. So right click, hide, and then we're going to right click to update that view. Okay. Now to produce an animation, you have a series of scenes, obviously. So each one of these scenes corresponds with a different view that you've been setting up, and you might have been using this for plan, section, elevation, however you have been designing is fine. But if you want to produce an animation, you're basically going to order the scenes and it's going to tween those things apart. And so you're going to see it sequence from scene 1 to scene 2 to scene 3 in exactly the visualization that's being produced right here. Okay, and so to actually export that, once assuming that you've gone through here and you can select and you can come in here and edit. You can change the settings for this. So you can adjust the transitions, you can adjust the components, you can adjust the fade speed, all of that stuff in here. And then we can go to, and if you right click on these, we can move them left and move them right, depending on where you want the scene order into sequence to be in your animation. Okay. And lastly, when we're ready to finally export this, you can export this as an animation. And then you have two options. One is a video and one is an image set. It depends on what you want. If you do this as an image set, what that will do is that'll create an array of images and you can take those through Photoshop and turn those into a video. You can run them through Studio Max. It gives you a lot more options if you have images because you can do some batch editing by creating actions in Photoshop. If you export the video, you basically, what you're going to record is what you're going to get at whatever pace you're going to do that at. So for initial stuff that you guys are going to be doing, you'll probably just be exporting the video. And as you get into understanding a little bit more about the animation and generating those things and controlling those things, you'll see that there's a lot more opportunity if you export the image set. Okay. And if you just hit this, you can go ahead. There's a codec. I would go for the H264 MP4 codec. And you just hit save, and you can see I've already got one in here. And then we'll go into that. And what will be produced is, you'll see this animation pop up here. And I haven't invested any time in organizing the scenes at all, but simply to just render those things out for you so you can see. Alright, and so that's cameras and animations.